Good morning, YouTube. You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears?
Peter Griffin, new keys.
Really?
Here is my Tesla Cybertruck key,
Right.
if you will. It is a card. It programs just like a hotel room would program.
Yes.
You know, you just bop it. You can actually do it yourself, order another card, and actually program the key yourself on a Tesla.
Huh.
And that's probably the least sophisticated part of my Tesla.
Right.
Most places they have very expensive proximity key fobs that walk up, and of course it's famous now because Kia and Hyundai are the most stolen cars in America because it's so easy to copy these fobs or break into them with USB jump drives, whatever else. Same with Mopars with their proximity keys. That auto theft is through the roof. Insurance rates are through the roof. It's turning into a TikTok challenge for kids to do, and
Yeah.
you know, they can steal a car and ditch it and not get in any kind of trouble because it's just easy and fun.
Right.
And I'm over it.
No, you're done with it. You like this?
No, I don't like this. So Tesla recently, to combat this, because you don't really hear too much about Teslas getting stolen, well, they are very susceptible to getting stolen. And the way they do it is they take an antenna.
Right.
And basically, they can read the proximity key inside your house with this antenna and then sort of stretch it to go to the car, unlock the car, start it up, drive it away. So Tesla was messing with like ultra wideband radio to sort of disrupt like this fakery or whatever. And a company, a Beijing-based automotive cybersecurity firm called GoGoByte, they showed basically how easy it is to steal a Tesla. Even with all this new tech, they were able to hack it and drive away and just go.
That's so bad. That's really, really dangerous. That's going to be happening now. I don't know how they're going to be able to fix this.
So Tesla's answer,
yes?
which sounds like a nightmare for you,
Oh no. Is it a spelling test?
enabling the pin to drive feature, to where you have to remember your password every time to drive up in your car, which is something you don't like.
Well, it's like the iPhone again. It's just something that this electric car reminds me of our iPhones, where we have to charge it every night and then you have to put in a passcode to get in, which now it makes sense. And I feel like next year they're going to have it where it has a face identification, so you can only drive it if it laser scans your eyes or something.
Retinal scanning. That would be interesting, sort of like going through security with Clear at the airport.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But can you imagine you've got to remember that PIN code, and if you forgot, or I don't know, like you're told the wrong one to your friend.
Easy, but then.
But you know, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The worst part is when they ask you to change it, and then all of a sudden you have to come up, and it can't be what you already had, or any part of what you already had. It has to be completely different, and then that turns into an issue. Of course.
So you want a new app on your phone, your Apple ID password.
Oh no! Don't go there. That's
gone. I mean, that's what this car would be. So now Tesla's saying, well, if you live in an area where it's likely to get stolen, you should use the passcode. So now you have the extra step of walking up to your car, unlocking, boop, 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 and to go. I guess it's not the end of the world, but it's not that hard. You just go back to keys. So I have this.
You want to go back to the actual physical key.
Basically, we are at the same level of tech and safety as this key to my 1972 Ford pickup truck.
Oh, that's a great
truck. You can see
that's a great truck.
It's a key. It's easy to fake. It's easy to defeat.
Yeah.
It's easy to hotwire. Same as this, except the electronic version of it. But this was such a big issue. Cars getting stolen, like the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry, were getting stolen. Everything. Like these keys would get worn out in Hondas, and any key would work to start up like a 95 Honda Accord, the most stolen car in America. So they did the combination. This is the 2012 Ford F-150 Lightning I have, where you have a key and a chip.
Yep.
Without both, the truck won't start.
Right.
Now, if you have drop it, run it over, break it, which was a big issue, with Cadillacs. I constantly had the issue where there was a little chip programmed right here where that would sort of fall apart, and then you're like having to take things apart and put the wires together to start the car. So there is some issues there, but honestly.
You want see?
Can we just go back?
I just like the fob that knows you're approaching, and it unlocks it as you're approaching. You just press the start button. Like, I don't want to physically put this in there because that means I have to find it. And I know you might not be familiar with this, but girls, we have tiny little pockets. Like, I'm not going to fit these keys in a pocket in the front or the back. It's just not going to work. You throw your keys in the pocket all the time. It's not a big deal. Like, I just want to throw it in my purse, But digging this out of your purse, finding it's tricky. So it's a thing, and I just like being able to have a fob on me and being able to walk to the car and press the start
But
button.
so then what's the solution? Because basically with this, it's like modern passwords with two-factor authentication.
True.
Key,
Right.
technology,
Yeah.
chip.
Right.
What's the two-factor other than having to put in a pin every single time? You would rather do that.
Well, how expensive is that to replace?
Oh, it's
compared
very
to the card?
expensive. Yeah, this is definitely the cheapest way to do it.
Yeah.
But how do we make this to where it's not stealable in 5 seconds from some kid with an antenna and a laptop?
When I first saw this, all I thought about was when you're in Las Vegas and you have to walk 5 miles from the hotel lobby to your room, and then all of a sudden your room key doesn't work because it got demagnetized. And what a nightmare that would be if you couldn't get into your car because it got demagnetized or some issue like that with the card.
Thankfully, my phone's programmed to the Tesla as well, to where I can remotely do whatever I want. I can even make it go, like to enable it, I think, for somebody to go, even though I'm not there, if I want to, using my Tesla app. So it is pretty neat in that sense. But with car theft skyrocketing, insurance skyrocketing, I was just talking to my friend in California, and I advised him to buy a Hyundai a couple of years ago because it was like the cheapest new car with the coolest tech and all that stuff. His insurance has gone from like $150 a month to almost $400 a month.
Did he get in an accident?
No.
Speeding tickets?
Nothing. It's because his car is so easily stolen. And it's where he lives in Los Angeles, to where he's paying almost $400 a month now for car insurance.
That's
so
awful.
this stupidity is getting the buck passed on to consumers.
Right. That's awful. He should not. No one should be paying $400 a month for insurance, especially on that. Maybe if you have some fancy McLaren or something, but not that.
So now he's considering selling his car. He had this 2005 Mustang that he got in college that he kept all the way up until like 2 years ago. So pretty responsible, safe guy, and made a logical, sensible purchase. And now he's screwed.
Yeah.
It's basically almost more than his car payment.
That's awful. Okay. It's a problem. So what's the solution? I don't know.
The solution is this. Let's go back in time to this. Whoa, Jake is throwing me a key now from his Mazda Miata. How much was this?
Those are $500 to replace.
$500? And how does it start the car? Is it a proximity key?
It stays in your pocket the whole time. You walk out, push a button on the handle to get in, and then you turn a fake key to start the car.
Oh my.
It works extremely well.
Because keys got just absurdly expensive in the mid-2000s. I know Mercedes keys can be $400 to replace. Some of those older ones can be even more before they discontinued.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, Tesla's kind of vibing the Miata.
Right. And then the Hyundai Santa Fe had that fingerprint thing.
Should
we do that?
Like,
I say with my unlocking the laptop, I push that button and I put on my password. But sometimes that doesn't work.
Right, the fingerprint.
It thinks I'm dead.
Are you? Yeah, that's a cool thing. The fingerprint identification to unlock something, or the Face ID, with your phone that unlocks your phone. I feel like that's where technology is going.
I'm really grasping at straws here, but what's
How does
Picard's
the Enterprise start?
Although Data was able to spoof Picard, and did that really crazy command code when he was reactivated by his father, Noonien Soong.
Oh, yes.
And, was able to hack and steal the Enterprise.
Right.
Very easily.
Yeah, hacking's a big problem in the future.
So you can't do voice authentication like Picard or GMYT 110 or something like that, yes. Yeah. There is a reason, though, why Teslas are stolen way less than other cars, than basic Kias and Hyundais.
Yeah.
Where Jake corrected me off camera. He could have done it on camera, where he basically said, he's right, they do break the steering columns off, and then the USB, it's basically like starting with their screwdrivers, such a basic fob setup. But they don't have GPS connectivity on these really basic model Kias and Hyundais, where you can track it actively when it's stolen. And that's why Teslas aren't targeted as much, because yes, you can drive off with it, but when you do, they know where the car is.
Right. Elon Musk is tracking every single person that has a Tesla.
It's not like...
there's even a voice recorder in each Tesla that he knows what we're saying.
Back in 2007 when I was working at the Chevrolet Cadillac BMW dealership, we had, I think, 4 or 5 cars stolen in one night. And it was pretty amazing because they were in the detail bay.
Yeah.
And one was a sold, brand new, very expensive Chevy Tahoe Z71. And they used that one as a battering ram to knock out the garage door, and then they have the gates to close it, and they knocked out the gate, totaled the thing. It was sold and
What?
parked back in detail just to keep it safe. Maybe there's a
Yeah.
storm coming, maybe just to, like, okay, this thing's sold, let's not have anything happen to it. They
Right.
used it to annihilate it, and then got all of the keys to the cars that were nice inside, drove off, and the Impalas, the Cadillacs,
Was
and
this
all that
all
stuff.
on camera? Like security
It was
camera?
all on camera, and they thought they could go and, because there's a little antenna on the roof
Right.
of every single one, and they thought that that's where the GPS connectivity with OnStar, because back then OnStar, you could track the car if it was stolen and everything. They thought just cutting that antenna off was that antenna. It wasn't.
No.
That was for like the satellite radio and other things. It wasn't for the OnStar. So they all just found them in this dude's backyard. It was so stupid. Like, they were gone for less than a day. The cops showed up, and not only were those cars there, but it was
Yeah.
just like somebody had taken a pretty sizable backyard in a neighborhood,
Right.
and just had it filled to the brim with stolen cars. 4 of them were ours, but
Right.
most of them were other people's, and it actually caused everybody to get their cars back.
Right.
I'm not sure what happened, if we ended up fixing them or not, but most of them weren't damaged very much, except for getting their antennas snipped.
That's crazy. Did they do
Yeah.
a ton of damage to the shop inside?
The garage door and the gate.
Right. Oh, that's awful.
And the one salesman that had that Tahoe sold was very
so
sad.
mad.
Yes.
Because you have to find that exact one to give the customer. Because guys
Right.
like, or anyone when you're buying a new truck, like you get so excited and you want all the specs to be a certain way, and it's just like you can't just instantly replace something like that.
Right. So back in 2007, that was the new Tahoe. That was hard to get.
Yeah.
But once again, they had to physically have the key. That They
Right.
broke in
Right.
to the detail shop, pried open the key safe, and they weren't just able to just like
Yeah.
start it in 10 seconds using technology or the lack of technology with
Right.
stupidity. So
I feel like
Yeah.
you could maybe like keep something in your car that's like really gross, so someone wouldn't want to steal it, like a little like Chucky doll, or like a used condom, but not like a real one, but like you can set it up. Do you know what I mean? Or
thank you so much for
they,
watching.
They wouldn't even want to touch your
April's
car.
really getting creative here.
That's my anti-theft system. You're welcome. You can use that. That's free. Free advice. You're welcome.